because I do want to be able to believe that there's something after death, and that the people who I love who have died are not just gone, and that I'm not one day going to just be gone. But the thing is that I almost would prefer that be the outcome, is just you kind of cease to exist, like before you were born. You just don't exist. I would prefer that over a God who is casting people into eternal suffering if they don't believe something. I think that that's really concerning also, because that flies in the face of the argument that God is supposed to be just. Because if God is the ultimate justice, or God embodies justice, well, justice is defined as giving a punishment that's based on the crime. Where's the crime in not believing something? And that's why I always bring up, like, you could have somebody who's done nothing but good their entire life. They've dedicated their whole existence to giving to the poor. But if they don't believe a certain thing, God will cast that.
This video is for educational purposes only. Now, the first thing that you want to notate here is this. As human beings, I believe that we can all agree that we're forms of energy, we're spirit. Now, I know that atheists don't believe that. Nevertheless, if you sit still for quite some time, what are you going to feel? You're going to feel vibration going all throughout your body. That, my friend, is life. And that, my friend, is the energy of life. There is a law in science, the law of conservation of energy, that says energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but only transferred, changed forms. Does this agree with the Bible? Genesis, written thousands and thousands of years ago, said that God created man from the dust of the earth. But notice something, God didn't create his life. No, what God did was blow into Adam's body. He transferred his life form into Adam, which again promotes what science ended up finding out later, that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but only transferred. So the very fact that Adam's life force was transferred into him, and if you understand that same template, when you die, that energy, that life force, has to be transferred and change forms and go somewhere else. Now, being that it was the Holy Scriptures, Moses, who wrote Genesis, is believed, who was a prophet from the beginning, it's only right to trust the rest of what it says, that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Sin is an eternal crime. You don't believe sin exists? Impulsive thoughts are an expression of the sin nature. Every single human being here on this earth has this in them. And you're speaking of a crime from your perspective, from a perspective that's less than 50 years old. God's perspective, it's an eternal crime. If somebody here on the earth commits a crime and they stand before the judge and the judge lets them go free after they got done unaliving a bunch of people, you would say that's a bad judge. Sin is worse than that. Why? Because sin is the very foundation of that. So a just God has to convict. But because God didn't want us to go to hell, he sent Jesus. You can't be surprised if you go to hell, if you reject God's offer to take you out. That's on you. I'm doing a 3-day class at the end of the month on defending the faith. You can see the topics below. Join the class on apologetics.